Brian Anderson here, joined by the Hall of Famer Grant Hill and Coach Stan Van Gundy. We'll hear from Allie LaForce as well. We should see some great ball movement with these two teams, Grant. Fantastic group of passers on each side.
They're just so unselfish. They play for one another. You can see how it keeps the whole team involved. And I'll tell you what, I just love watching teams that can pass like this.
And then Carroll gets it to go.
I mean, 6'10", about 250, Banchero imposing his will inside.
Outside Harden. Puts up a deep three. From beyond the arc and then some.
Talk about the range. I mean, he's got amazing feel from that distance. Woo.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to talk with the head coach of the Grizzlies. I asked him how they'll approach the matchup against James Harden. Coach told me, well, James is at his best going to the rim and operating behind the three-point line, so we want to try and force him to work in that in-between area as best as we can. They'll be following the analytics with that defensive strategy, BA.
Thanks for that, Allie. And here are the Pacers now. And stolen by Edwards. Pass to Edie. And a nice finish on the layup.
Well, he saw the height advantage he had and went right up with it. That's exactly what you want him to do there.
And Stan, while Edwards has pushed back, it hasn't stopped others from comparing him to his airness, Michael Jordan.
And that talk is more about how his game reminds one of MJ and less about greatness. Edwards' career is just getting started.
Now here's Edwards. A steady force on their offense, recording around 14 and a half a game.
Yeah, with his bigger build, Banchero sets a solid pick, and then he quickly rolls into open position.
And the Pacers with possession here. After the basket by Memphis. Here's Black. The Pacers again can't hit. And the first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Right now, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, there's a nice flow to this offense right now.
Intercepted. Oh, and a fast break for the Pacers. Thompson's shot is off.
Well, this isn't the start they wanted. Need to just settle down and move the ball for better shots.
Back to Payne. They set the screen. Pass to Edie. 6 on the shot clock. Edwards for 3. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Banchero. Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Outside Harden. Let's go with a 3. The Pacers again can't hit.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Outside Edwards. Ooh, plenty of contact on that shot. Officials call the foul, and he'll take 2 free throws now. Grant, when it comes to Anthony Edwards, fair to say he's meeting expectations so far.
Oh, no question, B.A. The first overall pick in the 2020 draft, Edwards has been anything but a bust. Now we are seeing him trying to compete for titles.
Now here's Simmons. Looking at his stats, he's putting up about 7.5 per game. Outside Matherin. Pass to Bain. Back to Matherin. The kick out to Edwards. Down low. Here we go. All alone. Oh, and the jam by Thompson.
Yeah, that's good work by Thompson to get ahead of the pack and finish the break.
Outside Bain. Now Edwards. Pass to Matherin. There's the triple. And again, it's Memphis missing.
Just enough of a shot contest to bother him.
Here's Simmons. Misses from short range. To the middle. Here's Banchero. Perfect pass to set up the lay-in. Banchero's got 6.
Using all that size in close, Banchero, he understands his strengths on offense.
Out to Thompson. Oh, tries a 3. The rebound by Edey. Memphis leading by 5. 7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Pass to Bain. Edwards with it. Simmons defending. Shot clock at 5. Here's the 3. He can't get that one to fall. It's Thompson, high post. Turner for 3. And that does it for the first quarter. Memphis ahead. They're up by 5. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter in this one. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Memphis.
Well, their game plan has been very effective so far. They're working the ball inside, putting constant pressure on the defense.
And another thing, they found the open man. Really playing unselfish basketball, moving the ball around there on the perimeter.
Pass to Stewart for 3. Grizzlies with the rebound. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at Dallas. They'll match up against the Mavericks. It's a quick turnaround on the road. Just 1 game. Now here's Kennard. Here's Wells. Back to Kennard. Here's Pippen. Shoots over Walker. Walker with some nice D. Stan, certain NBA teams take on the identity of their home. Like the Grizzlies, for example, they call Memphis Grind City.
Well, Brian, I think it's a perfect fit. Hard-working people in a hard-working city, and they want a hard-working team.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
And here's Shepard for 3. Sinks it. What range from downtown. Shepard's got himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Here's Pippen. He's scoreless. To the inside. Walker with a steal. Gay inside. That one's good. This game is all even.
Yeah, that's a nice dish. A lot of times the best way to put the ball in the right spot is with that bounce pass.
Pass to Wells. A deep 3. The rebound by Stewart.
Defensive breakdown there, and they got lucky. He's not going to miss too many of those.
Here's Simmons. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. And so it's Memphis with it. In the second quarter, held scoreless. Here's Pippen. Here's Clark. Oh, Clark with the slam.
Once he gets to the rim, it's fairly automatic.
Nothing fancy right there. Just takes his 2 points, moves on.
First personal foul. Second team foul. Substitution on the court.
Right here. Stewart outside. Stolen by Bain. And now the Grizzlies on the run. Oh, and now with no question, powered it down.
You're talking about a sensational athlete. Mathurin is so tough in transition.
Well, if you went into the lab and created the perfect wing, it might be Desmond Bain, coach.
Well, Brian, this guy's so strong. He can guard bigger guys, and his three-point numbers are crazy. Desmond Bain well over a 40% three-point shooter for his career.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Well, Paolo Banchero grew up in Seattle playing drills every summer, and that gave him a huge leg up in the NBA. He said, quote, they'd always tell me it's not as hard as you think. You just have to be focused and locked in. That's what led to me having that demeanor. Brian?
The 2023 Rookie of the Year, Allie. He hit the ground running. Now here's Walker. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Gay. Oh, it's Gay with the jam.
I mean, just so alert with his head on a swivel. Walker able to find the open man.
And here's Edwards outside. Anthony Edwards rains one in.
Well, he can beat you in a lot of ways. Very challenging to defend.
And we've got 1:18 left in the second period. Pass to Stewart. And stolen by Banchero. Three-pointer Mathurin. They get it back. Here's Edey. And the shot goes. And now a 5-point Grizzly lead.
Gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
Back to Harden. Jacks up with 3. Bearing his second of 3 attempts.
They've got some ground to make up, and shooting the 3-ball more consistently like they are now should help them do it.
Pass to Edey. Back to Edwards. Shot clock at 6. Now here's Mathurin. And the three-pointer goes. Mathurin's got 5 points now this quarter.
He's got that guard quickness. Mathurin showing off his catch-and-shoot ability.
Inside. And stolen by Edwards. Banchero left side. Walker with a steal. 4 seconds left. Takes it inside. And the jam by Walker.
Oh, save that for the dunk contest. That flush was so extra.
Whether or not this game is close, he's the same guy, focused on finishing firm at the rim. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. Grizzlies out in front. They lead by 3. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, this second half could turn out to be a great one, as both teams trying to gain an edge. And that one's good. Thompson. The life of an NBA head coach, Stan, is not easy. You've lived it. What's the toughest part of the job? And don't say dealing with the media.
Well, no, it's not. But, Brian, I think people would easily say it's the time spent away from home, and it's also the losing, quite honestly. But I think what my family had the hardest time with was how consumed I was as a coach during the season. So even when I was home, all I was doing was thinking about basketball.
And how many losses have you endured as a broadcaster, Coach?
0. Undefeated, Brian, undefeated.
Now here's Edwards. 5 points in the game.
Yeah, well, that's a shot the defense is probably going to let him keep taking.
To the paint. Oh, got a piece of it. Inside. Here's the break. And there's the call on Banchero. That's his first foul of the game.
And this kind of selflessness is great to see. Textbook positioning to draw the charge.
Indiana making a switch here. How about Paolo Banchero, Coach? What a special talent. The first overall pick back in 2022, and then the Rookie of the Year.
Well, Brian, he's not just a scorer. He's a 6'10" playmaker, and getting that out of someone who plays on the front lines and can also play as a small ball 5, Banchero's versatility makes him very valuable.
Here's Harden. After the basket by Memphis. Just over 1.5 minutes have passed in the third quarter. Here's Turner. Yes, and a nice assist from Harden.
And their offensive game plan is clear. Get it inside and go to work.
Down low. Here's Edey. Indiana with a rebound.
This isn't how they wanted to start the second half. Only 1 of 4.
Pass to Harden. Fires the three. It's rebounded by Banchero.
Just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
Outside Edwards. And the foul is called. He missed it, so he's got a couple of free throws coming his way. I'll say this, Banchero is a guy that opponents can't forget about for a second. And you see it in all the defensive attention he gets. Teams show him all kinds of different looks, and he draws a bunch of double teams in isolation.
I'm sure they don't want to send him to the line. That has to be in their scouting.
Pass to Simmons. And there's the lob. And stolen by Banchero. And the Grizzlies pushing it up now. Here's Mathurin. The shot is good, and this game is back to even. Mathurin's got his third basket on the night right there. Now here's Simmons. Yet to see a basket. Thompson right side. Yep, that one's good. And the Pacers lead by 2.
Yeah, their defense is starting to wear down. That's 3 straight buckets at the rim.
Here's the Grizzlies with the ball. Outside Edwards. Pass to Edey. Over Turner. And it's Edey missing. And Simmons has got the ball here for the Indiana Pacers. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half.
They have no answer defensively inside.
And he's got his first opportunity at the line here tonight. And that one falls for Turner.
When you think about Turner, one of the best shot blockers in the league, who can also score at all 3 levels.
Pass to Edey. Outside Edwards. From behind the arc. Gets the 3-ball to go. Edwards has got 10 points.
Unselfish basketball. That's what coaches love to see.
And here's Walker. And he lobs it up to the rim. And now the Grizzlies on the run. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Grizzlies great Marc Gasol last season retiring from basketball. He embraced the city of Memphis. He said, quote, I think a player has to feel that it's their city and they have to fight for it. You play with a different mindset when you do that. To me, winning was the most important thing.
Yeah, and they did a lot of winning, Alex. All right, now a timeout called by Memphis. The Pacers making a switch here. Memphis trailing here. Here's Pippen. No made baskets yet. Pass to Kennard. Out of bounds as Memphis keeps possession. Puts one up from 19. He squares up and sinks it.
One of the purest shooters in this league. Kennard's mechanics are perfect.
Harden with it. And that one falls. His 5th basket in 7 tries.
And they just continue to sharpen their offense here in the second half.
Pass to Kennard. For the lead. A rebound by Turner. Now Harden. 13 points in the game.
Everyone knows Harden is a talented passer. He can really rack up those assists.
Here's Wells. Here's Pippen. And we've reached the end of the third. Indiana ahead. They're up by 4. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sport. 3 quarters behind us. We'll start the 4th in what is still anybody's ball game. Timeout, Grizzlies. Chance here to catch.